This was Texas A&M just murdering Mizzou.
Guess who just got
murdered?
Yeah, Texas A&M's in that conversation. Ole Miss is in that conversation. It's wild. Continue.
Turns out that my vision, the one that came to me in my sleep.
I was going to do a remix of that part of the show. I just ran out of time.
For people just tuning in, it came to me in my sleep one night this past week that Mizzou was going to win 34-31. So I picked them. I threw a few shekels on 34-31, not enough to put me in the poorhouse, but just in case the universe was sending me signals, I decided I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity.
Was it like a Peyote Wednesday? Did you take anything before bed that night? Was it nothing?
I drank a LaCroix, not a sponsor could be, and I went to bed.
Okay, a little LaCroix. So, guys, if you want to make some money on college football,
drink something else, yeah.
Avoid the very specific bubbly.
A&M won 41-10.
Yeah.
This game was never close.
Mm-mm.
And honestly, 41-10, that score makes it sound closer than it was.
Was it 31-0 at one point?
Yeah. I mean, A&M had over 500 yards of offense, twice as much as Mizzou. The biggest takeaway for me was that if you watch this game, the A&M defensive line absolutely ate Mizzou alive.
Yeah.
Mizzou could not run at all. Frankly, they could barely block. Brady Cook got sacked 6 times, generally had no time to throw at all. There were moments when they'd show a replay of Mizzou's line, and I just kept thinking to myself, oh my God, this looks like bad computer AI in the video game.
Yes.
Guys just sort of looking around. What are we supposed to do?
3.5 fingers. Yeah.
It was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
When they were able to get something going, then they were called back for a penalty. So this is one of those games, if you're a Mizzou fan, you just want to forget about it altogether. This was a really bad loss, though. This is a really bad loss, not just because of the offensive stuff that we saw and how they could not protect any of what they were trying to do.
Right.
But then on defense, again, if you watch the game, and Jordan Palmer was the analyst on the call here in the booth, he was begging Mizzou, please. Jordan Rogers, excuse me.
Jordan Palmer, Carson Palmer's brother. Continue.
My bad.
A notable quarterback brother commentator coach. Continue.
He was practically begging Mizzou, bring some pressure on Conner Weigman. Bring some pressure. He had all day to throw.
Yeah.
And then they'd show replays, and he's going through his progressions. You could see his eyes, Dan. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Interesting. I think I'm going to go here. Ooh, what's going on
he had
over here?
All day to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And by the way, it was Conner Weigman. He was back. He looked good.
Looked very sharp for his first game back. Yeah.
Looked sharp. I thought LeVeon Moss, who's had some injury things as well, I thought he looked really good. A&M did not just win because Mizzou ran a weird scheme and didn't bring pressure and there were penalties. Like, all that stuff helped. A&M was clearly better in this game. It's just, I think when taken in totality, the experience of watching this game, it just felt so much worse for Mizzou than that final score would indicate.
Agree. And the amount of pressure on the flip side that Texas A&M was able to generate on the Mizzou offense with 4 guys, right? No exotic blitzes or anything crazy like that for most of the game. They just completely smashed them. And not anything I saw coming. A very uncharacteristic Texas A&M win if you watch Texas A&M these past few years. Yep. I have a bit of advice for any team or defensive coordinator watching this stream on the Spice Channel. Is that where we're broadcasting tonight as well?
Yeah.
It's a pay-per-view. It's a deep channel that you might be watching. If you're going to teach your team or instruct your team to arm tackle LeVeon Moss, look at me right now. Don't do that. It's not going to work out. He's very good. And Texas A&M, by the way, that Mizzou win over Vanderbilt looks better and more impressive. That's something, at least if you're a Mizzou fan, to hang your hat on.
This is
true. Otherwise, I still don't know if we fully understand what every win is or isn't, but this year's Mizzou has been pretty disappointing in terms of at least my expectation coming into the season after last season. I know you were not as high on Mizzou as I was going into the season, but I don't know, all things considered with who they have on offense and what they brought back, at least somewhat on defense, this was a shell of my expectation of this team going against A&M today. And man, A&M's going to be, they're going to be a dirty out.
They are. I mean, I
don't know what that means. I just made that phrasing up. I have no idea. I can't explain it at all. But
it feels right. It does feel right. And it does. This game kind of validates some of what I think we were feeling coming into this one, which was we didn't know which version of Mizzou we were going to get. In part because we didn't know what to make of some of those close games. You mentioned the Vandy game, but also BC was close for at least a half. And on the A&M side, we've both kind of picked up these notes of, hey, they're getting better.
Yeah.
It feels like the trajectory is going up and to the right here. And we don't know how soon they're going to like explode. They may never explode this year, but this is a big win. This is a big win. And I thought it was very, very telling about, to your point, where Mike Elko has this team, because it wasn't anything exotic. It wasn't anything overthought. It very much was the Underthink Express.
Yeah, it was great.
Beat the absolute brains in of Mizzou here by 31 points. So good on them. A nice win. And hopefully this is something that they can build on. I don't know where Mizzou goes from here. It felt like so much was wrong in that game that I don't even know how you unpack that.